What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex. In this video, I want to talk about the Harry Potter open world RPG. I kind of want to talk about what should we expect from it when it gets revealed. Now, we did this, I believe, 2 days ago for Rocksteady's game, and I said, it's pretty comparable in a way to Harry Potter. I know there is some overlap in people that watch the Batman videos, the Rocksteady videos, the kind of superhero stuff, and then also the people that watch Harry Potter, but I also understand that Harry Potter has an audience of its own. So, thank you guys. Firstly, I want to start out by thank you guys sincerely for watching these. If you guys like me making these Harry Potter videos, which I've done many of these in the past, make sure you guys are subscribed, have that bell icon rung. I would love to continue making these videos. I will continue making these videos. And then obviously when the game is announced, we will talk all about it. Very, very excited. This is a very, very exciting game. And with all the stuff going on in the world, it's still a very exciting time for quite a few different games, especially the Warner Bros. Catalog that they're just hiding from us. It's definitely dark times in the world, but there are things to look forward to entertainment-wise, which, you got to take the positives when you can get them in times like this. Now, so again, there could be some overlap with what I said in the Rocksteady video. If you guys have watched that one, I'm sorry about the overlap. I'll try and keep it short, but I'm going to specifically talk about Harry Potter. Here's the deal, because there are a couple things to talk about. One thing that I find pretty interesting, and I was originally going to make this the video, is would it be delayed? Would the announcement of this game be delayed? The thing you have to look at that we've talked about in the other videos, and you got to think about in Warner Bros. Terms in general, is they were gonna have a convention or like a conference at E3 2020. Okay, that was the plan. They were going to announce the Harry Potter game. They were going to announce the Batman game, which Batman Arkham, Batman, whatever, and then they're going to announce Rocksteady's new game. Okay, and plus others. So maybe a Monolith game, maybe a Superman game. They were gonna announce quite a bit. They have, again, a huge catalog of games that honestly could all be game of the year, super amazing games that they're just hiding from us, which is fine as long as you just give it to us eventually. But the question is, does that still happen? Now, I've continued to say for the longest time, yes, that is still going to happen. I believe that's still going to happen. Yesterday, we may have talked about it in that Bethesda is not going to do an online thing. Okay, they're not going to have an online conference. Now, Bethesda was one of those publishers that would always go to E3. I feel like it's because they signed an enormously long contract that they didn't really want to sign, and they had to go to E3 every single year to then spend like an hour on stage really announcing what could have been talked about in 10 minutes. A little disheartening that they're not doing an online thing, because I think, again, these online conferences would be really, really good for anybody, okay, including Bethesda, including Warner Bros. So has that worried me a little bit? Yeah, it has, because do other publishers follow? Does EA kind of come out and say, we're probably not going to do an online thing either. We'll just kind of let this year's June come and go, and we're not going to say anything. That does worry me, because Warner Bros. Needs to do it. They truly do, because they have some things to talk about. So again, they have Batman, they have Rocksteady, and they have Harry Potter. So what would they do? Well, again, if this is the first video you've watched of this category, I truly do believe they're going to go more in on Batman than they would the other two. Batman is closer to being released. Batman is the closest of the two superhero games. And again, it's the one that I think they're going to push further. So what does that mean? Well, I think that means we're going to see probably gameplay of some sort, or maybe just trailers of all three, but then gameplay afterwards, right? Kind of like the fallout of the fake E3. We would see maybe gameplay of it. For Rocksteady's game, and for Harry Potter, I think trailers. Now, Harry Potter is a little bit more difficult to predict, because what I said with Rocksteady is you don't want Rocksteady to steal the thunder from this Batman game. Okay, so if Rocksteady does Justice League or Suicide Squad or whatever, you don't want that game to be bigger than Batman. Now, could it be? Will it be bigger in the end? Will people like it more? Will it sell more? All that kind of stuff. Very likely, it probably will. But you got to think about which thing comes first. And we've always talked about it. And again, even in the movie industry, television, all this stuff, studios pick their battles. Marvel really only focuses on one Marvel movie at a time. Now, yeah, they have a long-term plan, and we know about their long-term plan. We know the next 5, 6, 7 Marvel movies that are coming out at any given time, right? But what do we focus on? Well, we only focus on the one coming soonest, Black Widow, right? And we're not going to show the Eternals trailer until Black Widow has come and gone, because we want people to focus on that. Now, that's just one example, but that's a really good one, right? So when it comes to the gaming industry, it's very similar in that way. You have to look at publishers, you have to look at genres of games. Those are all very important. And so well, one, they all come from Warner Bros., but two of the three of them are superhero games, and there could be more. Again, if there's a Superman game, that definitely makes it a little bit more difficult. Now, what makes it harder to predict is Harry Potter is Harry Potter. Harry Potter has its own fans. Yes, there will be overlap more because of Warner Bros., because superhero people are also into Harry Potter people are also into superhero games, like all that kind of stuff. But Harry Potter is different enough where if you would have asked me a few days ago, and even in that Rocksteady video, I said my belief would be that Harry Potter would get a trailer and that's it. But again, there's a lot of stuff we don't know. When it comes to this Batman game and Rocksteady, another thing you have to look at is the spacing in release. They have to release away from each other. They cannot release too close to each other because they're too close of games. Now, will they both star Batman as the leading role? No. Are they both literally the exact same game? No. But they're close enough where you just don't do that. And a lot of times, publishers in general don't put two games that they're publishing close to each other no matter what. It doesn't matter if they're even in the same genre, right? And when they do put them too close together, oftentimes they hurt each other. Bethesda made this mistake a few years ago when they released Wolfenstein as well as The Evil Within. Very different games. Both of them were the sequels, right? Very different games, but they were both published from the same publisher, and they just didn't have enough in them to promote both of those games at the same time. And I honestly feel like that's what it comes down to. But Harry Potter is a lot different than Batman. Harry Potter is a lot different than Rocksteady. Harry Potter is a magic game, right? And what we've heard about it, it could be an absolutely amazing, really, really fun game that I honestly feel like could be like game-changing, right? So it is a very different kind of game that I think could stand out on itself. Now, again, does that mean you would release it within a month of these two games? No, I really think no matter what, you space them out as much as you possibly can. But if Harry Potter is ready at like around the same time as Rocksteady's game, they could release within a few months of each other. I think that's totally possible. I still do believe Batman is the closest. So Batman would come out first. I think both Harry Potter and Rocksteady's game would be out in 2021. Harry Potter, I truly do feel like would be the fall. If I had to make a schedule for you, and I feel like the schedule has moved. I feel like it's been moving over the last couple of years because especially the Batman game has been thrown out of sync, right? But if I were to do it right now, assuming that they don't get delayed because of what's going on around the world, which very possibly they could be delayed, but I would imagine the hope would be Batman is this fall's game. Rocksteady's, whatever it is, Suicide Squad, Justice League, whatever, is next June, around the same time as Arkham Knight did. Again, late June games really, really work. Arkham Knight did that, and it worked really, really well. So there's some familiarity, right? So you do that, and then the fall game of 2021, or the holiday game, let's call it, and Batman would be the holiday game of 2020. The holiday game of 2021 for Warner Bros. Would be Harry Potter. It would sell absolutely insane. It would be that next-gen push for them, kind of like their support, like, hey, here's a game for next gen, all that, and I think Rocksteady's game would be pretty similar to that. I think that's a really, really good plan. But even just because Harry Potter is still like a year and a half away, I think we can get the trailer. I don't see an excuse for why the trailer would be pushed. And again, that's a thing we talked about a few days ago in Batman. Does all of the stuff that's happened around the world, even if it delays the games, if it doesn't delay the games, does it delay the announcement of a trailer? I truly don't see why it should. People are at home. People are doing nothing, right? And not to the fault of anybody. It's literally nobody's fault. But we're all at home. We're all like just sitting here, right? Doing our own thing for sure. But in terms of news, this is a time you capitalize. What's the harm of showing? Now, again, does that mean like I want a Harry Potter trailer tomorrow? I would like it, but it's never going to happen. I really do think that in June, Warner Bros. Needs to do some sort of online thing similar to what they probably would have done anyway, because they would have gone to E3. I don't think they would have had a stage. Nobody's ever reported that they were going to. All that was said is they were going to have a conference there. I believe they did do that a few years ago, where they were like in a room, I think even with Jeff Keighley, and they did like a mini live stream, and they announced a couple things. It was like half an hour long. I feel like they did that like 5-6 years ago. That's what I imagine them doing now. And what's the difference between doing that and doing what I'm saying? It's the exact same thing, only they're doing it remotely from the office. And also, you got to think that by June, a lot of things are going to calm down. I know a lot of things are staying in effect right now. A lot of things have been pushed to the end of April, early May. But by the time it gets to June, the hope would probably be to get people back out there, get people back to work, all that kind of stuff. And so really, there's no, it would kind of be like a welcome back party, right? Like, welcome back to the studio of Warner Bros. And now we're going to announce a bunch of different things. I think it works. I think a trailer makes a ton of sense. It's truly, though, all I would expect, although I wouldn't be monumentally shocked if they did more, because again, it is a different enough game than the other two where it can stand out, and it maybe wouldn't hurt Batman if it stood out. See, that's again the reason why I think with Rocksteady's game we do not get gameplay. I don't think we get too much on Rocksteady's game early on. Obviously we will later. We may even get more stuff on it as it leads into Batman, as it gets closer to Batman, because they may just not be able to wait. Okay, so I think that's definitely possible, but in terms of if you announce all three at the same time, I think Batman, you got to show gameplay for. You really got to push that more, leaving Rocksteady's game a little pushed out. But then Harry Potter, there's really nothing stopping them from showing gameplay or showing a little bit of stuff of what they can do. And by the way, these things can appear in the trailers. I'm not saying that we need to have a specific trailer, like a CG trailer, and then also like a gameplay, like a 20-minute gameplay thing. I think that would be fun, and developers have done that, and games have done that before. I would kind of want that, but that's not to say we may not get gameplay in the trailer. So if they announce Harry Potter, maybe it's like a long, meaty 4 or 5 minute trailer, and it shows a lot of different things, including gameplay. That could very well be possible. And again, I think that would be fine, because it wouldn't take away all that much from the superhero games, because it's not a superhero game. So I really do think it's possible. I really do think it's likely. I think this June is still the time you got to think about doing it, and it was going to happen. Again, Jason Schreier confirmed it. It was going to happen this June, and obviously things have been thrown quite a bit over the last month since he said that, and that was all around when E3 was canceled anyway. But I really do hope we get something in June. I'm honestly expecting Warner Bros. To do something, and I'm expecting to see in some way these 3 games. So guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Do you think we're just getting a Harry Potter trailer when we see it? Do you think we could get more? What do you think about my idea for Warner Bros. Announcing these games? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel, Podcast Now. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when these videos go up, and thank you as always for watching. I greatly appreciate it, and I hope to see you all on the next video.